Remember when party snacks were simple? When crisps were made from potatoes, dips contained real ingredients, and you could read a snack label without needing a chemistry degree. There was a time when hosting a party meant putting out bowls of actual food. Real cheese, real vegetables, real crisps made from real potatoes. You knew what you were serving your guests because the ingredients were recognizable and honest. Those days are gone. Walk into any British supermarket this Super Bowl weekend and you'll see massive displays of party snacks. Bright packaging promising bold flavours and authentic American taste. Marketing claims about sharing and celebration. They've convinced us that these products are essential for any Super Bowl gathering, that we need these specific brands to create the right atmosphere, that everyone else is buying them, so they must be acceptable. But here's what they're not telling you. Most Super Bowl snacks sold in UK supermarkets are ultra-processed disasters. They're made with the cheapest possible ingredients and loaded with additives to create intense flavours that override your natural taste preferences. The crisps aren't made from real potatoes. The dips contain barely any of the ingredients they're named after. The cheese snacks contain cheese analog, not real cheese. And every single product has been engineered by food scientists to be as addictive as possible, ensuring you and your guests consume far more than you intended. The British snack industry has spent decades perfecting the art of making junk food irresistible. They've hired psychologists to design packaging that triggers impulse purchases. They've employed flavor scientists to create taste profiles that hit multiple pleasure centers in your brain simultaneously. And they've lobbied to keep nutritional labeling confusing enough that most people don't realize they're consuming a day's worth of salt and sugar in one sitting. For generations, we've trusted these brands. We believed that major food companies wouldn't sell us anything genuinely harmful. We assumed that products marketed for sharing and celebration were at least reasonably safe. We thought that because everyone buys these snacks for parties, they must be acceptable. But that trust has been systematically betrayed. These companies know their products are nutritionally bankrupt. They know the salt levels are dangerous. They know the artificial additives cause problems, and they keep selling them anyway because Super Bowl weekend is one of their biggest sales periods of the year. Today, we're exposing 9 UK Super Bowl snacks that are poisoning your parties. Snacks that should never be in your shopping trolley, let alone on your coffee table. And because we're not just here to scare you, we'll reveal 2 snacks that actually deliver decent quality. Will your Super Bowl spread make the list? Or have you been serving your guests ultra-processed junk while thinking you're just being a good host? Let's find out. Coming in at number 9, we have Walker's Sensations, the premium crisp range that's positioned as sophisticated and upmarket. The packaging is black and gold, suggesting quality. The flavors have names like Thai sweet chili and lime and coriander chutney, implying exotic ingredients and careful preparation. Surely Walker's premium range is better than their standard crisps. It's not. Walker's Sensations are made using the same industrial process as regular Walker's. They're fried in the same vegetable oils. They contain the same excessive salt levels. The only difference is the flavoring powder, which is more complex and contains more additives to justify the premium price. 1 bag of Walker's Sensations Thai sweet chili contains over 1 gram of salt. That's a sixth of your daily allowance in one small bag. And during the Super Bowl, when multiple bags are opened and shared, people easily consume 3 or 4 bags worth, taking in half their daily salt allowance before they've even eaten a meal. But the salt content is just the beginning. Walker's Sensations contains flavor enhancers, including monosodium glutamate and disodium guanylate. These compounds are added to make the crisps taste more intense and more-ish. They override your natural satiety signals, making you want to keep eating even when you're full. That's not accidental, that's deliberate food engineering designed to maximize consumption. You're not buying premium crisps, you're buying standard industrial crisps with more addictive flavoring and fancier packaging. At number 8, we have Pringles, the stackable crisps in the distinctive tube. Pringles are positioned as fun party snacks, perfect for sharing. The uniform shape and packaging make them feel modern and convenient. But here's what most people don't realize. Pringles aren't actually crisps. They're not made from sliced potatoes. They're made from dehydrated potato flakes that have been mixed with wheat starch, corn flour, and rice flour, then formed into a dough, pressed into shape, and fried. The ingredient list reveals the truth. Dried potatoes, vegetable oils, wheat starch, corn flour, rice flour, maltodextrin, emulsifier, salt, and various flavorings. You're not eating potato crisps, you're eating reconstituted potato product shaped like crisps. And because they're made from a dough rather than sliced potatoes, Pringles can be manufactured to have exactly the same shape, size, and texture every time. That uniformity isn't a sign of quality, it's a sign of industrial processing. But what makes Pringles number 8 is the serving size deception. The tube contains multiple servings, but once you pop, as their slogan says, you can't stop. That's not just catchy marketing, it's an admission that the product has been designed to be addictive. The combination of salt, fat, and flavor enhancers creates a taste profile that your brain finds irresistible. During the Super Bowl, when a tube of Pringles is opened, it's typically finished within minutes. You and your guests are consuming hundreds of grams of reconstituted potato product without even realizing it. Number 7 is Doritos, the triangular tortilla chips that have become synonymous with American snacking culture. Doritos are positioned as bold, intense, and perfect for dipping. The bright packaging and aggressive flavor names suggest excitement and indulgence. But Doritos are an ultra-processed nightmare. They're made from corn that's been heavily processed, mixed with vegetable oils, and coated in flavor powder that contains more additives than actual food ingredients. Let's look at Doritos tangy cheese. The ingredients include corn, vegetable oils, cheese powder, whey powder, salt, flavor enhancers including monosodium glutamate and disodium guanylate, colors including paprika extract and annatto, and various other additives. The cheese content is minimal. What you're tasting is mostly artificial flavoring and salt. One bag contains over 1.2 grams of salt. That's a fifth of your daily allowance. But the real issue with Doritos is the flavor intensity. They're engineered to have such a strong taste that regular food seems bland in comparison. Children who regularly eat Doritos often refuse to eat vegetables because their palates have been trained to expect intense artificial flavors. And the orange dust that coats your fingers isn't natural cheese color, it's artificial coloring in such high concentrations that it transfers to your skin. During the Super Bowl, when bowls of Doritos are everywhere, people consume shocking amounts without realizing it because the product is specifically designed to override satiety signals. At number 6, we have butter-kissed toffee popcorn. Popcorn seems like a relatively healthy snack option. It's made from corn, it's light, and it's often marketed as a better alternative to crisps. But butter-kissed toffee popcorn is essentially candy disguised as a snack. One bag contains 19 grams of sugar. That's nearly 5 teaspoons. You're eating sugar-coated popcorn, not a snack. And the butter flavoring. Despite the name Butter-Kissed, this product contains no real butter. The buttery taste comes from artificial flavoring and palm oil. You're eating popcorn coated in sugar and cheap vegetable oil with artificial butter flavoring. The ingredient list includes glucose syrup, sugar, palm oil, salt, and artificial flavoring. There's nothing natural or wholesome about this product. What makes Butter-Kissed toffee popcorn number 6 is how it's positioned. It's sold as a sharing snack, something fun for movie nights and parties, but you're serving guests what amounts to candy. During the Super Bowl, when people are already consuming excessive amounts of salt and fat from other snacks, adding sugar-coated popcorn to the mix creates a nutritional disaster. One person described serving Butter-Kissed at a party and watching children become hyperactive within minutes. That's the sugar hit in action. At number 5, we have pepperami, the processed meat snack with the distinctive packaging and aggressive marketing. Pepperami is positioned as a protein-rich snack, something more substantial than crisps. The marketing emphasizes meat content and suggests it's a better choice for people who want something filling. But pepperami is mechanically recovered meat mixed with fat, salt, and preservatives. The ingredient list reveals what you're actually eating. Pork, pork fat, salt, spices, dextrose, stabilizers, antioxidants, and preservatives, including sodium nitrite. The meat content is mechanically recovered, which means it's been scraped off the carcass using high-pressure hoses. It's the meat that's left after all the proper cuts have been taken. And sodium nitrite is a preservative that's been linked to increased cancer risk when consumed regularly in processed meats. But what makes pepperami number 5 is the sodium content. One stick contains over 1 gram of salt. That's a sixth of your daily allowance in one small snack. And because they're individually wrapped and easy to grab, people often eat multiple sticks during parties. During the Super Bowl, when bowls of pepperami are sitting out, guests can easily consume 3 or 4 sticks, taking in half their daily salt allowance from processed meat snacks alone. If you're still watching and finding this valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave the number 5 in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed to UK Food Exposed yet, please consider subscribing and ringing that bell. Your support allows us to keep exposing the truth about what we're really eating. Now, let's continue. Number 4 is Doritos dips. The cheese and salsa dips that are marketed as the perfect accompaniment to Doritos chips. The packaging shows melted cheese and fresh tomatoes, suggesting quality ingredients. But Doritos dips contain barely any of the ingredients they're named after. The tangy cheese dip contains just 6% cheese, 6%. The rest is water, vegetable oil, modified starch, and a long list of additives, including emulsifiers, stabilizers, and artificial flavoring. You're not dipping your chips in cheese. You're dipping them in thickened flavored oil with a tiny amount of cheese added so they can legally call it cheese dip. And the salsa is even worse. It contains more sugar than tomatoes. The ingredient list reads water, tomato paste, sugar, modified starch, salt, and various additives. Real salsa is made from fresh tomatoes, onions, peppers, and lime juice. This is tomato-flavored sugar water thickened with starch. What makes Doritos dips number 4 is the deception. The packaging and marketing suggest you're getting quality dips made with real ingredients. But you're getting ultra-processed products that bear no resemblance to real cheese or real salsa. During the Super Bowl, when these dips are served alongside Doritos, you're combining ultra-processed chips with ultra-processed dips, creating a snacking experience that's entirely artificial and nutritionally bankrupt. At number 3, we have Pom Bears, the bear-shaped potato snacks that are marketed specifically to children. Pom Bears are positioned as a fun, lighter alternative to regular crisps. The packaging shows cute bears and emphasizes that they're baked, not fried, suggesting they're healthier. But Pom Bears are still ultra-processed snacks with excessive salt and artificial additives. One bag contains 0.5 grams of salt. That might not sound like much, but these are marketed to children, and children's salt requirements are much lower than adults. A child aged 4 to 6 should have no more than 3 grams of salt per day. One bag of Pom Bears gives them a sixth of their daily allowance. And because they're shaped like bears and marketed as fun, children often eat multiple bags. But what makes Pom Bears number 3 is that they're specifically designed to appeal to young children. The bear shapes, the bright packaging, the positioning as a lunchbox snack. Every element is calculated to make children want them and make parents feel they're making an acceptable choice. But you're giving children ultra-processed potato product with excessive salt, training their palates to crave intense flavors and reject real food. During the Super Bowl, when families are gathered and children are snacking freely, Pom Bears seem like a harmless option. They're not. Number 2 is Old El Paso salsa, the jarred salsa that's positioned as authentic Mexican flavor. Old El Paso has built a brand on bringing Mexican food to British homes. Their salsa is marketed as a convenient alternative to making your own, but Old El Paso salsa contains more sugar than tomatoes. The ingredient list reads tomatoes, water, sugar, peppers, onions, salt, and various additives. Sugar is the third ingredient, ahead of peppers and onions. Real salsa doesn't contain added sugar. The sweetness comes from ripe tomatoes. But Old El Paso adds sugar to mask the bland flavor of cheap tomatoes and to create a taste profile that appeals to British palates conditioned to expect sweetness. One serving contains 3 grams of sugar. That's nearly a teaspoon. You're eating tomato-flavored sugar sauce, not salsa. What makes Old El Paso salsa number 2 is how it's positioned. It's sold as an authentic Mexican product, something that brings genuine flavor to your Super Bowl party. But it's a highly processed, sugar-loaded sauce that bears no resemblance to real salsa. During the Super Bowl, when bowls of this salsa are served with chips, guests are consuming shocking amounts of sugar without realizing it because they think they're eating vegetables. And here we are, number 1, the absolute worst Super Bowl snack you can buy in a UK supermarket. The product that represents everything wrong with party food. It's Chicago Town Deep Dish Dip Pizza, the frozen pizza marketed specifically for sharing during parties and sporting events. Chicago Town positions this as the ultimate party food, perfect for the Super Bowl. But Chicago Town Deep Dish Dip Pizza is an ultra-processed disaster. The base is made from refined white flour with added sugar and vegetable oil. The cheese is cheese analog, which is a product designed to melt like cheese while containing minimal actual cheese and maximum vegetable oil. The toppings are processed meat products with excessive salt and preservatives, and the whole thing is designed to be eaten quickly while hot, maximizing consumption before people realize how much they're eating. One pizza contains over 5 grams of salt. That's nearly a full day's allowance. And it contains over 1,000 calories, most of them from refined carbohydrates and cheap vegetable oils. But what makes Chicago Town Deep Dish Dip Pizza the absolute worst is that it's specifically marketed for sharing during the Super Bowl. The packaging shows groups of friends gathered around, suggesting this is what you serve to create a great party atmosphere. But you're serving guests a product that's nutritionally catastrophic, loaded with salt, made with cheese analog instead of real cheese, and designed to be consumed quickly before anyone questions what they're eating. So those are the 9 worst Super Bowl snacks poisoning British parties. 9 products that represent the worst of industrial food production, marketed as essential for celebration. But we promised you something more. 2 snacks that actually deliver decent quality. First, we have proper corn tortilla chips, not Doritos. Real tortilla chips made from corn, oil, and salt. Brands like Cool Chili Company or Santa Maria make genuine tortilla chips with minimal ingredients. They're still fried and salty, so they're not health food. But they're made from real ingredients without the excessive additives and flavor enhancers. Served with homemade guacamole or salsa made from real tomatoes, you're giving guests actual food. In second place, we have Tyrrell's hand-cooked crisps. Not perfect, but significantly better than Walker's or Pringles. Tyrrell's are made from real potatoes, fried in sunflower oil, and seasoned with natural ingredients. The salt content is still high, but the ingredient list is short and recognizable. You're getting actual potato crisps, not reconstituted potato product or ultra-processed snacks engineered for addiction. So there you have it. 9 Super Bowl snacks that are poisoning your parties, and 2 that actually deliver real food. The uncomfortable truth is this. The snack industry has built an empire on making junk food irresistible. They've engineered products to override your natural satiety signals. They've loaded them with salt, sugar, and additives that create intense flavors your brain finds addictive. And they've marketed them as essential for celebration, making you feel that serving these products is what good hosts do. But you know better now. You know that Walker's Sensations are just standard crisps with more addictive flavoring. You know that Pringles aren't real crisps. You know that Doritos and their dips are ultra-processed disasters. You know that Butterkist is candy disguised as popcorn. You know that pepperami is mechanically recovered meat with dangerous preservatives. You know that pom bears are training children to reject real food. You know that Old El Paso salsa is sugar sauce. And you know that Chicago Town deep dish dip pizza is a nutritional catastrophe marketed as party food. The next time you're planning a Super Bowl party, remember this. Your guests deserve better than ultra-processed junk engineered for addiction. Real food still exists. You just need to choose it. What are your thoughts? Have you been buying any of these Super Bowl snacks? Share your experiences in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe to UK Food Exposed and ring that bell. We're going to keep exposing the truth about what's really being sold on British shelves. Thank you for watching, and remember, demand real food.